Hey there, my Texas friends. This presentation is coming to you from a partnership with Dell Technologies and ALP, and I am your facilitator. In this session, we're going to be covering 6 specific activities you could try with Flipgrid to get your creative juices going, right? So this is coming to you as a part of the Dell Texas Learning Network. So this is me. I am here because I believe that everyone, students and educators, can learn and grow. No excuses, right? So I'm going to just drag this up a little bit. Maybe I'm not. So here I am. My name is Eileen Fernandez Parker. If you'd like to contact me, you can email me at eileen@cultivatingthelearning.com. You can text me at 843-697-3473. And if you are on Twitter, you can tag me with the handle at EFPTech. And also, if you wouldn't mind using the hashtag ALPLearn. If you find any of this helpful, if you use any of it, just like teachers love to get notes from people, this is what keeps me going, right? So I would appreciate it if you would tweet it out and just let me know. All right, so as I said, this presentation is coming to you through a partnership between Dell and Advanced Learning Partnerships. It is a session that is possible because Texas really strategized when it spent its technology monies, and they pooled all of their money so that so many districts throughout Texas could get training. So nice job, Texas. So for advanced learning partnerships, our values are that we always work with people. It is not a just us and sit and get. So together we perpetuate trust. Together we cherish the value of people. We realize opportunity and we serve with gratitude. So, in the previous presentation that I did, it covered how to set up your account with Flipgrid and how to set up your groups and your topics and some special kind of perks that are in Flipgrid. So, why use Flipgrid? I'm just going to go over these in case you didn't see that presentation. And then if you would like to go and retrieve that, by all means, go ahead. So Flipgrid allows you to see students thinking. So you've got visible thinking. They also can see one another's thinking. So you're getting those multiple perspectives coming in that's very healthy, right? They have the opportunity to process information. All too often, kids just kind of absorb the information, right? They consume it, but then if they don't do anything with it, we don't know that learning has occurred. So this is where they have the opportunity to process. They can also prove mastery. So with Flipgrid, you can take a screen, you can do a screencast, so they can show what they know on screen, but they can also do it on paper and then just hold it up, and explain it that way. So they can show mastery. The communication is off the charts with Flipgrid because it's just a communication tool, right? So if you're thinking about like ELL students and world languages and early readers and writers and retelling stories, all those things that are so important. And then also in the upper grades, discussions. So John Hattie's research out of Australia shows that one of the highest amount of learning growth happens when the kids are doing the discussing, not when the teacher is talking. So Flipgrid really kind of boosts that need for discussion. Think about character museums, like a digital wax museum. That's always a lot of fun. Giving kids the opportunity to use academic vocabulary. When we ask questions in the class, only one kid gets chosen to give the answer. So all the other kids don't have a chance to process or talk or see what they know. But with Flipgrid, you've got 100%. You could create breakout sessions. And when I say breakout rooms on the slide, I'm not talking about like a Zoom breakout room. I'm talking about like, the breakout rooms where everybody's locked in a room and you have to solve a puzzle so that you can unlock the next um, clue, so that then you can solve that puzzle and unlock the next clue until you finally are able to get out of the room, right? So if you're not familiar with that, just Google digital breakouts and you'll love what you see. And then giving and receiving feedback is so important. So it puts the kids in the evaluator seat, which is the top level of Bloom's. So that becomes super important. But it also lets kids learn how to talk to one another, how to gently give constructive feedback, and also how to receive it humbly, right? So that is something that we probably could all practice. So on the right-hand side, you've got the 4 C's here: collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. The critical thinking and creativity come in, depending on what kind of a question or activity you ask the kids to do. The collaboration and communication, of course, is obvious. One of the things that I've learned just from instituting Flipgrid with adults and with kids is that they very much prefer working with somebody. They have a lot more fun. There's laughing going on. They're teasing one another. They're having a good time. When they screw up, they just laugh. Whereas when they're all by themselves, it's just all 100% anxiety. So definitely think about letting them collaborate in their answers in Flipgrid. So you can use Flipgrid for asynchronous or synchronous learning. And for blended learning, flipped learning, and competency-based learning, Flipgrid really is a wonderful tool. You can actually build an entire flipped lesson inside a Flipgrid topic. So that is something that I explain on the first video. So if you're interested in that, go back and check that out. Okay. All right. Now, ideas for immediate use. I want you to have something that you can turn around and use immediately and not worry about it. Okay. So here we go. Of the 7 ideas, the first one is night at the museum. So you can see this young man on the right. He's dressed up like Abraham Lincoln. The originally, the kids had to do the trifold board, but of course, everything can just be digital, or it can be a trifold board. That's fine. And then they would record it. But here are some ways that you could institute Night at the Museum. Kids can become a book character or a story character, clearly historic people. When I was doing my training for elementary, because I've taught elementary through high school, one of the activities that we did in a math training course, methods course, was letting the kids become a number or become a function, so I'm a multiple, I multiply, right? Or I divide, and then they become it as a character, as a noun, right? You could also have them become a part of speech, and they have to be creative and show that they know what that part of speech is all about. What about if they become a part of a cell or a piece of technology or an element off the periodic chart? So much more interesting than writing paragraphs that they copy out of, off the internet now. They don't use encyclopedias, but so they could also become an animal or a geographic area or a biome, right? The more complex it is, the more fun they could have. And, if they were to do a geographic area or a biome, then that might be a good opportunity for collaboration. So just some ideas for you. They could record from home or from school. If they don't have internet, they can record on any device and then just upload it to Flipgrid. So they don't necessarily have to have internet connection at home. You can also use the QR codes to create a walkable museum. So once the kids are in there and they post their video, when you open up their video, there is a QR code button And so then the teacher can hit the button, print them out, and you can place them around the room so that the kids actually walk up with their tablet or their iPad and they scan it, and then they get to watch the presentation. Okay, so number 2 is reader response. So kids from a very young age have to retell a story. So the littles for sure could be practicing all the steps to retelling stories. You could also post a video inside Flipgrid and then ask the kids to respond to it. And if you use a certain protocol, then the kids get used to the thinking routine. Okay, so if you're not familiar with thinking routines and protocols, definitely Google that. You can also give them a criteria for what they need to say. So you have to have 3 examples from the text, or make sure you speak in complete sentences. All those communication skills, speaking clearly, making sure you can be heard, enunciating, all those kinds of things. All right. The next one is to have an asynchronous debate or an opinion page. So you can give the kids an article to read, and then they can choose a side. You can assign a side, right? You can put them on teams, and then you can there are all kinds of things you could do. I've seen teachers do juries. They had a courtroom where they put somebody on trial, and so one of the kids would become the character. The other kids are, the defense and the prosecution, and it is just so much fun. All right, so they can do Socratic seminars. And what is super important whenever you have discussions is that you present the kids with sentence stems. And I do have a toolkit that I'm going to share with you, so that I've linked a lot of tools that you can use to help you apply some of these things. All right, just to save you some time. Okay, the next way that you can use Flipgrid is a show me. Now, there are so many things that kids can show you, right? Show me that you understand. Show me that you can apply the skill. Show me where the supporting details are. So they could have an article open in Kami or some other PDF annotator, and they could actually be highlighting and they could be annotating, and you can see them doing it live. They also, if students have done work on paper, right? Because I don't know about you, but I like doing math on paper. And so I could work it all out, and then I can hold it up and I can explain it. So those are some different ways that you can use it for the show me. You could also use it for the show me something that you can do that you're proud of. When I taught 4th and 5th grade, we used Friday afternoons for the kids to show us something that they were really good at. And I don't remember anything from 5th grade that I taught except for those Friday presentations. And probably the kids don't remember anything either, right? So you can use it for those kinds of, show me something I didn't teach you. What have you learned on your own? All right. The next one is book reviews. Everybody wants to know, when you've got a good book, you want to tell everybody. So what if you created a group inside Flipgrid? And if you're not familiar with what I mean, the other video explains it. But you can create a book for each genre, and then within that genre, you can have a topic for each book. So if I love fantasy, then I'm going to find Harry Potter in there, Lord of the Rings, Aragon, so it will be very easy for me to be able to find a book that I might be interested in, right? So one of the wonderful things about Flipgrid is they have a discovery section, and I'll show you that at the end. And I go over this in the other video. They have a discovery section where there are over 5,000 topics that have been listed, that have been shared, and you can filter them by subject, by grade level, and then by topic. So I found this on the right-hand side. This is an example of a book review topic. Somebody already set it up. All you have to do is copy it, and it goes into your group that you select, and you just have to assign it to the kids. So it couldn't be any easier. So there are over 5,000. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Go in there first, go see what you can discover, and then start using the ones that are pre-made. After you build your confidence, right? Then share some of your brilliance out with the rest of the world. All right, peer praise and celebrations. So all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? So it is important for us to be building SEL in our classrooms. So why not have a peer praise moment where you allow the kids to notice what their peers are doing well and to announce it, right? So they can do it right in Flipgrid. And I don't know about you, but if somebody put something wonderful up about me, I would download that and save that forever, right? And who wouldn't? So peer praise you can use inside Flipgrid. You can do weekly celebrations. So things that you can include. We have a lot of student of the week and student of the month, but what about when we do goals met and personal best? Growth is so important. And so I might not be the best in class, but I just beat my own personal best, and that's worth celebrating. So these are just some ideas, right? Jigsaw activities, right? These work wonderfully well in class. I think they might even work better in a Flipgrid because they split the work and then they come together and they share their learning, and it's documented there. So even if I don't remember it, I can go back. And if somebody in a different group sees mine and I left something out, they can comment and add it at the end. So they're helping everybody in the class. So, the whole idea of, we're in this together. All right. So before I go over and show you the toolkit, if you have enjoyed this presentation, if you use anything from it, please go to the tinyurl.com/DTLN course, and it is case sensitive, and leave us some feedback. If there's something more that you'd like, go ahead and leave it there so that we know. If there's something if there's a way that you see that I can improve upon this, by all means, throw it in there. Okay. All right, so now I have this Flipgrid toolkit for you. And in it, I've got linked sentence stems, ground rules for Socratic seminars, ideas for museums, a video explaining how to retell a story, a book review topic that you can copy, and that's the same one that was in the presentation. And then I filtered book reviews, and there are over 5,000. So you can go to that link, and then you'll be able to filter them so that you can find what you need and then copy them. And then some living wax museum topics that you can copy. So from the ideas that I gave you, hopefully this toolkit will be helpful. And what I'd like to do is, all right, so in order to get this Flipgrid toolkit, you just need to type in bit.ly/flip_toolkit and make sure that you uppercase the F and the T because it is case sensitive. So that's where you can get the toolkit from. And I'm just going to jump over here to my Flipgrid, and I want to show you, here are the 5,800 topics that have to do just with book reviews. And so these are just generic. And so if you like this, I would look at the community, and I would, if I'm an elementary school teacher, I would filter it by age, because the wording might be more appropriate. Okay. And so we've got sell that book, book reviews. And all you have to do down here is click on add topic, and then you can save it for later. You can create a new group to put it in, or you can add it to an existing group. So I might click add topic, create a new group, and this might be fantasy. And it's going to create a new book group called fantasy. And then I've got my book reviews here, but now I want to edit it. And I don't want it to just be sell that book. I want it to be, let's see. Yeah, I guess it could just be fantasy on here too, and then kids can put whatever they want, because maybe we don't want it to narrow down to just one single book. And then I update my topic, and now kids know that they can come here to see other people's fantasy um, book reviews. All right. And let's see what else here. How do you get to the Discover? So up here in the top right hand corner, it says Discovery. You want to click on that. And then if you hit the save button when you're looking at other people's, they'll be inside my library. So you can see here the different collections that I've created. And if I go to view all topics, this is where I get 42,000, and I can filter them out. CTE, high school. Let's just see what's there. And now I have 209 topics. That's pretty cool. Oh, look, entrepreneurial thinking. I like that. Employability. If you like this, you hit add topic. I can save it for later. I can choose a collection to put it in. I'm going to need a new one. So I create a new one here called Entrepreneur. All right. Okay. So again, to get the toolkit, go to bit.ly flip_toolkit. And I hope that you are able to use this, and that you are excited to use it. And again, if you do use it, please let me know by going on Twitter and tag me at EFP Tech, and then also use the tag hashtag ALPLearn. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.